animals strong enough may volunteer, until Napoleon calls a halt to the work. The animals work hard all day long. The hay store is full to overflowing. The animals themselves are happy but exhausted. Together, they name the 7 laws of animalism. After the meeting, Squealer begins painting the new laws on the wall of the barn. This is the beginning of animalism on the farm. Every animal is committed to the principles set down by Old Major. If anyone forgets, the chanting of the sheep will remind them. Sometime later, the animals discover what is happening to the milk. It is being mixed into the pig's feed. The birds are awake before anyone. birds go into town and perch where they can best hear the news of what happened on Animal Farm. Animal Farm borders two other farms. One is called Foxwood, a large, neglected, old-fashioned farm. Its owner, Mr. Pilkington, is an easy-going gentleman farmer. The other farm, called Pinchfield, is smaller and better kept. Its owner is Mr. Frederick, a tough, shrewd man. Frederick is always involved in a lawsuit with someone. Morning wakes up the cows. The days are long now. Summer progresses, and the fields darken to gold. The hens wake, well and happy in their hutch. The hot weather makes everyone short-tempered. The animals were already discontent. Now they are nearly wild. The animals notice that they're going to need more supplies soon. Nails, string, dog biscuits, iron to shoe the horses. Some of the grain in the stores goes missing. No one knows who is to blame. Snowball calls the animals together in a meeting. He has a plan for the use of the resources gathered this summer. It's late in the year to start harvesting the grains. Animal Farm has fallen behind. The animals choose who will work the harvest. The rats are active on the farm, though they don't do much work. Naturally, that does not stop them helping themselves to the supplies. The hot weather makes everyone short-tempered. The animals were already discontent. Now they are nearly wild. Summer becomes autumn. Next, the animals must plow the fields. It's beginning to get cold, but it's not too late to do this work. It is too cold to graze any longer. The animals move indoors to get out of the... Time comes for the planting of the winter wheat. The seed must be drilled in before the frost comes. The weather turns bitter. The snow covers the farm. There's not enough food to go around. The animals are going hungry. Another winter damages the farm buildings. Shingles come off the roofs, and the barn develops a leak. Animal Farm has survived its first year. The second year begins with warnings. Morning wakes up the cows. The time has come again for gathering in the hay. The hay store is all. The animals are frustrated and they blame the pigs. The birds wake early. The days are long now. July turns into August. The rats are active on the farm. Though they don't do much work, naturally, that does not stop them helping themselves to the supplies. All of the remaining humans are... The surviving animals head back towards the farm. Every Sunday, the animals meet to discuss the welfare of the farm. It is always Napoleon and Snowball who propose the resolutions. The dogs wake up full of energy. The hot weather makes everyone short-tempered. The animals were already discontent. Now they are nearly wild. Molly is seen repeatedly at the fence with the neighboring farm. The farmhands are feeding her sugar. Summer becomes autumn. harvest should have been brought in long ago. It is only now that the animals can begin the work. Next, the animals must plow the fields. It's beginning to get cold, but it's not too late to do this work. The weather turns bitter. The snow covers the farm. December turns into January. Even now, there is enough for everyone on the farm. In January, there comes bitterly hard weather. The earth is like iron, and nothing can be done in the fields. The whole farm is divided on the matter of the windmill. The sheep wake in the morning. The time has come again for gathering in the hay. Snowball is hard at work on the plans for the windmill. He spends long hours alone in the harness room, working on the documents. The birds wake early. The dogs wake up full of energy. At the Sunday meetings, the animals argue amongst themselves about how to run the farm. Midsummer comes and goes. Snowball directs the animals preparing the farm for attack. The neighbouring farmers often talk about the goings-on at Animal Farm. In the pub, they talk in such loud voices that the birds can hear them outside. The hens stir in the hen house. At last, Snowball's plans are completed. The animals gather to vote on whether to start work. Just at this moment, Napoleon stands and gives a high-pitched whimper. There is a terrible... A few weeks later, Napoleon announces it's time to begin the windmill. It's late in the year to start harvesting the grains. Animal Farm has fallen behind. The hen house comes to life with dispirited clucking. There's a good quarry of limestone on the farm, enough for the windmill, but for weeks no one can see how to cut the stone to the right size. Autumn arrives, and the windmill is still not very advanced. The animals cannot help feeling concerned. Next, the animals must plough the fields. It's beginning to get cold, but it's not too late to do this work. One night, there is a violent gale. It blows tiles off the barn roof. In the morning, the windmill is in ruins. It rains heavily for several days, and no work can be done. The birds cluster just outside the door of the Red Lion. Mr. Jones is mostly found in the tap room of the Red Lion, but he retells the story as often as he gets the chance. The weather turns bitter. The snow covers the farm. It is late in the year. The winter wheat should already be in the ground. The coldest part of the year comes and goes. Napoleon sits at the front of the barn with a semicircle of dogs. Instead of having debates, he reads out the week's orders. The walls of the windmill are rebuilt to be 3 feet thick this time. Much larger quantities of stone are required. It is back-breaking work. The time has come again for gathering in the hay. Morning wakes up the cows. The birds wake early. The birds are awake before anyone. Humans have not forgotten about Animal Farm. Once again, summer is passing. Boxer's health has been failing. He is too ill to work. For 2 days, Boxer rests in this. He talks to Clover about his hopes for a quiet retirement. In the middle of the day, a van comes to take Boxer away. Benjamin catches sight of it. Someone thinks of racing ahead to shut the gate, but it's too late. The van's through, and Boxer is never seen again. The project of teaching the animals to read has not gone to plan. Some of the grain in the stores goes missing. No one knows who is to blame. It's late in the year to start harvesting the grains. The animals choose who will work the harvest. Some of the grain in the stores goes missing. No one knows who is to blame. The dogs wake up full of energy. The apples are now ripening, and there are windfalls in the orchard. The animals have assumed that these will be shared out equally. When the stone for the windmill is broken, it's not difficult to haul. It is a very bright morning. By autumn, the windmill has been fully built. The animals often walk around. Next, the animals must plow the fields. It's beginning to get cold, but it's not too late to do this work. During this time, the pigs move into the farmhouse to live. Several animals remember passing a resolution against living in the house. The pigs not only take their meals in the kitchen, but sleep in the beds. Sleeping in beds is contrary to the laws they remember from the barn. It rains heavily for several days, and no work can be done. The birds cluster just outside the door of the Red Lion in Willingdon. The weather turns bitter. The snow covers the farm. It is late in the year. The winter wheat should already be in the ground. One morning, the animals are at breakfast when the lookouts come in. Frederick and his followers have come through the 5-barred gate. After a few minutes, the farmhands run in all directions. The animals fall on their bellies and hide their faces. When the rations were already reduced in December, they are reduced again in February, and lamps are forbidden in the barn. The animals have all starved to death. Soon, the humans will come and reclaim the land. Then, It will be sold to build. The rations were already reduced in December.